Yo everybody, how you doing? How's everybody doing out there? You ready for a little Eagles talk? Welcome to Philly 500's second live stream. Now, we are here to talk some Eagles stuff. I've just been doing their schedules and I'm going to be releasing that tomorrow. Now, so I'll release that tomorrow, followed on Saturday by a live chat about my schedule prediction. You can debate me if you want to, any of that kind of thing. But today I just want to talk a little Eagles. Hear people's questions, try to answer some more, most I can, and we'll go from there. Now, I just read an article talking about how the Eagles have no intentions of keeping Brandon Graham possibly after this year. And that in the OTAs, they were moving Derek Barnett to his side to let him learn that position. I think that's kind of crazy. I would not let Brandon Graham just walk. And I'm no fan of Brandon Graham, but I'm the bigger enemy of getting rid of guys for nothing. I would never get rid of guys for nothing. So if you have questions, start firing away. Do the Eagles have a top 3 defensive line in the league by Isaiah? Do the Eagles, that remains to be seen. We don't know. I think their defensive tackles are good, but we have to see what the ends do. I think Brandon Graham had a good year last year, but he only had 5.5 sacks. We need to get that up to about 10, and we need Vinny Curry or Derek Barnett to take over that other position. So right now, I would say no, they do not have a top 3 line. Top 5 wide receivers on the Eagles roster. Alshon, Jordan Matthews, Torrey Smith, Mac Hollins, I guess Nelson Aguilar, and then, I don't know, Gibson, Steele Jackson. Any bold predictions for the Eagles? Yeah, they're going to sweep the Giants, and I think Carson Wentz will throw 28 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. That's my prediction for him this year. But they're going to definitely sweep the New York Giants. No doubt about it. What do you think of the year of the quarterback in next year's draft? It's very funny that they're always telling us that this next year is the year of quarterbacks, this is the year of quarterbacks, and then the years that they don't talk about the quarterbacks, those become the years of the quarterback. I have no opinion on it yet, because I'm not so sure that that'll happen right away, but we'll have to see. 12 interceptions, that's a little too much. For a second-year guy, how many interceptions do you think he should get? I think 12 interceptions is fine. What are your thoughts on linebacker Joe Walker? I loved Joe Walker in during preseason last year. I thought he was great. Now, he had a pretty bad injury, so he's coming back. But I do think that if his injury doesn't keep him down too much, I think he can compete for that outside starting linebacker job if they give him a chance there. But I definitely think Wentz is going to ball this year. Yeah, I think Wentz is going to be awesome this year. Dude, you just see this guy, like, the way he carries himself. He carries himself like he knows he's a champion. It's hot here. Jeez. But I love Wentz. I think Wentz is going to take a big year this year. What was that question? Oh, sorry. How many years does it take for the Eagles to win Super Bowl with Carson Wentz era? Well, here's the whole thing about that. If the Eagles can sign guys after this year, then I would say 2 to 3 years. But the whole question is going to be who remains on this team after this year. I think next offseason is single-handedly the most important year for the Eagles. If we're going to know what this team is. If they have everybody play this year, let's say they go 11-5. Let's say they go 11-5 and they sit there and everybody leaves and they got to start over. Then where are we at? We're back at the beginning. I subbed to you when you had less than 50 subs. Haha, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody. Everybody that watches subs, even disagrees with me. I love yous. Do you think McAllister will get snaps this year? I don't know. I have no idea. Will Sidney Jones play this season? No, I hope not, but I have no idea. I hope he does not. $1? What do you mean? Dan, what do you mean, $1? Spleen. Mean machine. I've never been here since one for. Oh yeah, appreciate, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You all are the best. I tell you that. We need a right tackle, a center, a cornerback, 2 young wide receivers, a new safety. Yeah, that's about right. I think that's about right. Yeah. You don't have Super Chat enabled? I do not. I do not. I don't even know what the hell that is. Okay, what is it? The day the Eagles win a Super Bowl will be the day the eastern side of Pennsylvania goes insane. You people are already nuts. We're all nuts already. It happens. We're going to win a Super Bowl. It's just a matter of when. Is Alshon here for only the money? That's a good question. Because I always think of all the other guys that have signed with all the other teams. That how much have they loved all these other teams? And then what happens? They go somewhere else as soon as they get more money. I don't know Alshon's heart. I don't know. But I'm hoping he wants to be an Eagle. Aguilar, thoughts? Aguilar, stinks. Aguilar stinks. And I'm telling you, maybe he will come out of it this year. I'm a little concerned about Aguilar. I think the Eagles are pushing him in that slot position. They're talking him up. And I get concerned that this is all a bunch of blow-up nonsense. He's got to show me something when it counts. Man, you guys, these questions have come so fast. So I'm sorry if I can't keep up. I'm really trying. Should we trade or release Kendricks? You should have traded him last offseason. But, I mean, I don't know if they'll release him. I don't think Howie Roseman will ever give up on his players. People do not sleep on Matt Hollins. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing about Matt Hollins. Thoughts on Jalen Mills? Jalen Mills, to me, I like Jalen Mills. Even though personally I thought he would be better over as a safety. But Jalen Mills, a lot of people just assume he's going to be like great. Don't you think that? But it's like, I don't know. He thinks, everybody thinks he's going to be great. But I don't know. I got to see. I'm sorry I got distracted with all this. There's so many things coming at me at once. Re-ask that question, Mimi. I mean, the thing with him is he's got to show me something this year. Pumphrey, I believe, will be better than Smallwood. Thoughts? Pumphrey, I worry about his size. I am so worried about his size, and I know a lot of people think that he is going to be like a Sproles, but to me, he doesn't look like a Sproles at all. So I don't know what to think. Hard to be great when you stink. Yeah, it is. It's hard to be great when you stink. Pumphrey is too little. Yeah, he is really little. You know, it's hard for me. I mean, you look at Sproles. Look at Sproles. He's small, but he's big down low. Man, his legs are thick. He's got power. He's strong. I don't know that Pumphrey is that. I don't live in Philly anymore. I used to live there. I grew up in South Jersey. I used to live in Washington Township. I went to Washington Township, a little bit Gloucester Catholic. But right now I have a wife and we moved away from there. And one day we might end up back and go back a lot. How much activity should Blunt get in the preseason? I think Blunt should get the regular amount of work. I mean, he's in a new team. He should get what they would give their starters. So I would give him first game, what, a series? Second game, a quarter. Third game, half. Fourth game, sit his ass. That's what I would do. I would not sit there and do anything different. In PA. No, I'm not in PA. Overreaction or underreaction, Eagles will sweep Cowboys and Skins. Eagles will sweep the Giants. That's what I'm predicting. They're going to sweep the Giants. They're going to split with the Redskins and Dallas, I think. Now, I was saying earlier before people came in, I will have a prediction tomorrow. My pre-training camp prediction will be out. And then after 24 hours of that, I'll do another live stream where you can come and tell me how wrong I am and why I stink. Predict our division. I got to put it out there, man. I got a whole thing for it. Jagster, Rain. I thought, will they sweep Dallas? Who? Will we? I think we will split with Dallas, if I'm being honest. Will Zach Ertz finally show up when it counts? I don't know. I don't believe so. I don't have any confidence in Ertz. I blew all my luck and all my predictions to Ertz last preseason. Eagle speed. How good does Matt Collins make our special teams? From what I'm hearing, this guy has Pro Bowl special teams potential. And if he could do that with the already good special teams coach and good special teams, we could be easily the best in the league, my man. I hate our tight ends. I am not a fan of our tight ends either. Although I don't mind Burton. Ertz better get more physical. Yeah, Ertz better get a whole heck of a lot more physical. You know, there's a guy, you'd think that he wouldn't get knocked around so much, but that guy gets, seriously, he gets thrown off of his routes very easy. How do you think Alshon? I think Alshon, here's my thing with Alshon. Now, I've said this many times. If you guys saw me before free agency, I did not want Alshon Jeffrey. I did not want him because they were talking $18 million for a guy that's always hurt. But I think Alshon has Pro Bowl potential if he can stay healthy. So, you know, we'll see. Do you think Lonzo Ball can beat the Yeah, I do. After last night, he could beat their Summer League on their own. Because our Summer League stinks, you know. But Lonzo Ball's going to be good, but, you know, he's not ready for the Eagles. Thoughts on Chris Long? Chris Long, to me, is one of those guys that I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut. I mean, I have to see his contract. But, I mean, I'm telling you right now, you better watch out for Steven Means. I think he is going to be the sleeper in training camp. Sean Fitzpatrick, your favorite Philly sports moment, any team? Philly sports moment, any team? Oh, no, that's pretty hard. I'll have to say, just off the top of my head, I would have to say the Deshaun Jackson punt return against the Giants, and then probably the Phillies winning the World Series. You know, that was the only championship I can really remember. What's up, Sports Fury? How you doing, my man? Sean Johnson, your favorite Eagles player of all time, Reggie White. Reggie White, when I was young and impressionable when Reggie White was around. We would go to training camp, watch him, and you know, Reggie was bigger than life. Like the players seemed like to look up to Reggie White like kids would. What do you think of Jordan Hicks? I think Jordan Hicks is the most important player on their defense. I think Jordan Hicks is going to have a breakout year. Now, for you, you may say, well, that's not really a breakout year when we know how good he is. But the rest of the league doesn't, and they will. I think Jordan Hicks is a top 3 middle linebacker in the NFL if he can stay healthy. How do you live stream? Right now, I'm using my iPhone because I can't figure out what the hell to do on my computer. The computer, they don't match up the chat with the video, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Jags O-line are terrible. If Andy Reid is our coach this year, what would our record be? I would say Andy Reid was our coach. You add 3 more wins to this team. No, I don't know. I mean, I want to say that. I don't know. I would say 1 or 2 wins probably. Will the Eagles beat the Chiefs? No, I don't have them beating the Chiefs. If everybody's healthy, I don't have them beating the Chiefs at all. If you could re-sign Nigel Bradham or Timmy Jernigan, which would you re-sign? Timmy Jernigan, I would say. I would sign Timmy Jernigan because I like the idea of him and Fletcher Cox playing together. I think that makes them very dominant, but it is a lot of money to throw at the defensive tackle position. But I do like Bradham too. I thought he played pretty good, but I would say Jernigan. NDDN, I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. Will Derek Barnett start, you think? I'm going to predict he's not going to start the season. I predict Vinny Curry is going to play a little better this year than people think, and he's going to keep the starting job for a little bit. Do you think we can win a Super Bowl with Doug Peterson as our head coach? I hope we can. Okay? Now, when I say things about guys and people, doesn't mean I'm against them. But I don't think they can win with him. Hi, Dad. How you doing? How you doing, Holly? Let's give Dave Flip some props. Dave Flip is good. Yeah, he's a very good, and I don't want to lose him. What is the trade the Eagles have to make right now? Right now, if you could get any type of corner, a veteran corner that can actually play, I would say that would be the biggest impact right away. But I wouldn't mind seeing Kelsey get traded. I really would. I'd like to see Kelsey move. I think Derek Barnett will start. Vinny Curry isn't good in my opinion. He stunk last year, but if he was really hurt like he says, then he should give us something. Chiefs are not good, Philly 5. Chiefs offense stinks and defense is good at best. Defense is good, and when you go to Kansas City, I don't care who you are. That's a hard place to play. That's a hard place to play. If you think you're going to go in there and walk in and beat the Chiefs, I'm sorry. I don't agree. Even if the Chiefs are a 500 team, would you trade Kelce to the Vikings for Trey Waynes? Yeah. I'll drive him to the Vikings for him. I'll drive him. I'll feed him. I'll shave him. I'll do whatever. Yes. How much waiver wire activity do the Birds before the opener? I mean, of course you have to look at the waiver wire, you know, at that point. You have to. You just have to. I'm going to get a drink real quick. I need a sip. Sorry. Eagles going 1-15, Philly 500. You want to bet? I'll bet you. You won't bet me. You bet me, let's do it. Now, do you think Jalen Mills can step up this year and be a solid corner? I think that's yet to be seen. I think he has talent. He showed some things, but he didn't show me enough that I can say that for sure. I don't know. I'm hopeful. Okay, JJ. Ooh, all right. What's up, Kevin? No water breaks, Philly fight. Yeah, let me thirst to death. What am I? In the desert? Eagles 15-1? I doubt that too. Hey, Jalen Mills. Yeah, you know, Jalen Mills gets a lot of love for a guy that did nothing. There's one player you want back from Chip Kelly trade, LeSean McCoy. I think LeSean McCoy should never have gone. I thought that was horrible what they did, how they did him. I thought it was horrible. And it was horrible what they did to Deshaun. Coming out with that stuff about him in a gang and stuff. That was rotten, man. That's some rotten crap, dude. Somebody said that the Cowboys will have a better defense than the 2003. Yeah, the Cowboys have a better everything. Here's how you rate the Cowboys, right? So if you get a Cowboy player, right? Let's say, I don't know, let's take Brandon Graham. Let's say Brandon Graham was a Dallas Cowboy. He would be the best defensive end in football. No matter what the player is, who the coach is, they're always 10 to 15% better because they wear a Dallas uniform. That's how they think. Does Warmack have a chance to start? I think he does. I think he's going to win the starting job at that guard position. I really do. I would sit him in that right guard position so fast it make your head spin. Yes, because I'm not a fan of Barber. Cowboys have no reason not to make the NFC game. Well, really? Why? I mean, what was so great about the Cowboys? They had a good year last year, but that don't mean that they're going to repeat it. What about Darrelle Revis? Look, if he's cheap bargain, and you're signing everybody else to one-year deals, giving everybody else prove-a contracts, well, why not? He's old, yeah, he's old, but look, that's what the Eagles have done. That has been their MO. Sign one-year deals and let the guys prove it. Plus, it's so late in the season. Like, the season's going to start. What are we going to do at our corners? Our corners, we have no corners. Would you keep Shelton Gibson or Marcus Johnson? Shelton Gibson, but, you know, I like Shelton Gibson because I like his speed. I like that top-end speed. We don't have enough of that. But he's got to earn it. If he gets outplayed, then he should get cut. I want the best players available. Whoever wins the position battles, they deserve to play. He can be a trainer like a teacher. Yeah, well, that's what people say, but, I mean, I don't know. Is Revis the kind of guy that's going to teach kids? From what I hear, I don't know. Why is Dak Prescott a dingbat? Because he has a satanic star on his head. He's a Satan worshiper with that helmet. They're into black magic. They're into sacrifices. They're the Cowboys, and they're evil. My questions aren't going through, are they? This one just did. You have to keep asking, Philly boy. There's so many questions coming. I'm sorry if I missed something. Just keep asking. I'm trying my best here. Does Jared Goff still have a chance to be a great, solid quarterback? Yeah, I mean, do I think he will? No. He didn't know where the sun rise and fell in. You know what I mean? He didn't know it at all. So he sounds like a dingbat. But you can't say a guy after 1 year can't be good. But I don't think he will. Thoughts on Wendell Smallwood? I think Wendell Smallwood cost us the Dallas game. I don't know. I was hopeful. I had high hopes for him. He let me down kind of during the year. Maybe he was banged up a little bit, but I'm hopeful he'll give us something that we need, but I don't know. Who do you dislike more, Giants or the Redskins? Giants. Giants. Although I've dealt with Redskins in Washington. I lived outside D.C. for a while, so I've dealt with Redskins firsthand. But they've faded. They've become a nothing. They don't even talk anymore. Cowboys don't have anyone. Everyone's suspended. Yeah, that's their favorite thing. We love you too. Thank you. What's your real name? My real name? My real name's Joel. J-U-E-L. Joel Anthony. What team you hate outside the NFC East? I hate everybody. Rain, I hate everybody. I hate everybody because they're not an Eagle. I don't have second favorite teams. I hate them. But I do enjoy watching the Raiders. And I kind of like to see the Jaguars do good. You know, I would like to see the Jags do good. What up? What up, Wilson? Yeah, I'm Catholic. Well, I was raised Catholic. Yeah, I am. I'm Italian Catholic from Philly. Family from Philly. How rare, right? I mean, that's like a dime a dozen. JJ, you're welcome. Screw Jared. Yeah, right? Look, I watched Jared Goff. I watched all his games in college. You know, he was pretty good. Do you see EDP's channel get shut down? Getting shut down, you mean? I don't know. I hope not. I don't think they should be shutting his channel down. But I don't know what he did. Sixers talk. Yeah, we'll do Sixers. We're doing, there's a lot of just Eagle stuff. You know, the Sixers summer league's kind of over, so I wanted to turn focus back to the Eagles. Can the Eagles win a playoff game? Yes. Will Wentz be the first quarterback to throw for... First Eagles quarterback. Okay, yeah. He will at some point. Whether it's next year, I don't know. But I believe before his career is over, he does. Who do you think wins the next big champion title in Philly? First, Philly boy? I think the Sixers. Probably the Sixers because they have less of a team to build. They got their foundational 4 players. So I think it's easier for them as long as people stay healthy. I think it's a lot harder to build a football team, in all honesty. I mean, you got a 53-man roster. You got a lot of positions. You got a game in which people get killed and hurt. So I would have to say that. EDP's lotion. Yeah, President is speaking. Yeah. God bless America. You know, what can I say? But, you know, we'll see. Hicks broke his hand on his honeymoon. Hey, him and his wife, God bless them, they just got married. How much hospital bill when you got Carol stuck? I don't know. Should the Sixers bring back Sam Hinkie? Yes, of course. I think there should be a statue built for him. Go Big Blue. Who do you hate more, Giants, Cowboys, or Redskins? This is an interesting question. The Giants are probably should be the Eagles' most hated rivalry. When it comes to the team, to the players, I know it's always the Giants. From a fan perspective, I don't like Cowboy fans usually the most. I don't like the Cowboys because to me, the Cowboys have this self-entitlement attitude, like they deserve it because they're the Cowboys, because they wear that satanic star, because they sacrifice children to the devil. They're satanic. The Cowboys are satanic. So I don't like satanic. So Cowboys. You've been calling me. Here I am. The Giants still have the better overall record against the Eagles, and we have rings and okay, well we can talk overall from, you know, from how many years you want to go, but the last, what, 3, 4, 5 years, we're whipping on the Giants. And I'm telling you this right now, and I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. The Giants are going to get swept by the Eagles this year. Love your hat. Thank you. Yes, this is my training camp hat. I have a green one coming. Patriots cheated against the Eagles. That's why you should hate them the most. Yeah, but I just can't get... I can't get over my division. In my opinion, rings don't matter. Rings matter. Of course they matter. But when you talk about the Eagles and the Giants coming up, you can't go 30 years back. It only matters what you have now. Look, the Giants are always going to be playing the Eagles twice a year. They're always going to be the big rivalry. But the thing about it is, the Giants can't beat us. For some reason, you know the craziest things are going to happen when they play. Now, we all know about the Miracle Meadowlands. You all know about the Deshaun Jackson punt return. But one of the greatest ones I ever saw was a game where it was overtime. The Eagles kicked the field goal, I believe it was on 3rd down, maybe 2nd down, in overtime, got blocked. Clyde Simmons picked the ball up and ran in for a touchdown. We won. They don't talk about that enough. We still own the overall against the Eagles. Yeah, but what does that matter? You weren't there in 1950. Were you there in 1960? Who cares if you have a better overall record? I don't care about that. Ertz is underrated, comparable career stats to Reed and Kelsey. Better than Eifert tight ends around his age. I don't get the hate. Because Ertz don't come up. Look, you can have great numbers, okay, because you play the last 4 games great. But when the game matters, when your team needs you to make a play, when the game's on the line, when you're fighting for a playoff spot, Ertz is nowhere to be seen. But when the games don't matter and the team is out of it, he shows up. I will admit the Giants do dumb shit against the Eagles. Yeah, they do. It's just like one of those things that's going to happen. It's just like the Cardinals. Even when the Cardinals stunk, they always would beat us. Does Alshon Jeffrey get hurt? Oh, God. I hope not, Jack. If he gets hurt, that's bad. I'll tell you what. If Alshon did get hurt, why am I looking at EDP's underwear? What the? EDP dirty ass boxers? Okay. If Alshon got hurt, I would say I can't resign him. I can't resign him. The Cards are my 2nd favorite team, by the way. Cards, well, hey, they always seem to beat the Eagles. Even when they stunk and they were in our division, they would always beat us. You're throwing Roma as a broadcaster. Can he get a concussion from broadcasting? Because he'll probably get hurt doing that. What about the one catch versus the Browns, Zachary? Yeah, but guess who was against the Browns? How many meaningful games are against the Browns? I don't understand why people... I'll turn around on you. I don't understand why fans love Ertz so much when he's done nothing. Why does he deserve so much love when he's done none? He ain't done anything. Why? I would have traded Ertz. Look, I wanted to trade Ertz to New Orleans for Cooks. And then I could have turned around and I could have drafted the tight end that came out, O.J. Howard. And I would have done that. Mayweather, because it's boxing. It's not even fair. Yeah, well, that's good. Everybody kills your Giants. Ha ha! You need to be on radio or TV. Everyone on TV is a damn cowboy. Well, that's because I think Jerry Jones owns, like, the NFL Network. Did you know that? He, like, owns it. That's why you have all Dallas Cowboys on. But, you know, it is what it is. All that Cowboy stuff makes me hate them more. That's why I like it. Who will win a fight between... I think EDP. When do you think the Eagles will win the Super Bowl? Look, it all depends, I'm telling you, on this end of this year, between year 2 and 3 of Wentz's development and who they keep. It will be... That will determine when. I'm saying 2 to 4 years. Yeah, maybe. But if EDP gets him, you know, look, I'll put my money on EDP. My favorite interest, my family. What about Brent Selleck? I respect Brent Selleck, you know. I respect Brent Selleck for what he did at Eagle. I think he's a great Eagle, a great guy to have, and I have nothing but love for Brent Selleck. How many touchdowns for Wentz this year? I think Wentz gets, I'm going to say between 26 and 28. I'm going to say 27 touchdowns. How about that? 27, 28, somewhere around there. I don't know. I'm not. Ingram will outplay Ertz. Ingram will outplay Ertz. I don't think so. I think Ertz still outplays him. You give me a haircut. No. Yeah, that's great. If Sidney Jones is 90% healthy and we're on the road in Green Bay in the playoffs, would you play? No, I would not. I'm not. I've made the decision where I'm keeping him wrapped up and I'm waiting. I am so scared of an Achilles injury. I'm so scared of it, you know? It's early July. Marcus Smith is still here. Go figure. Yeah, because guess who drafted him? Everybody wanted to blame Chip Kelly, but it was really Howie Roseman. He's the one that drafted him. H2, hey, thank you. I appreciate it, H2. Appreciate you subbing. Thank you. Do you like? I love Sidney Jones. Are you kidding? That's why I don't want to rush him. I mean, what do we? Even if it's the playoffs, what do we get by putting him in right away? Let him rest the whole year. I want him healthy. He's a stud. He's a stud. I think he's the best draft pick they made. What offensive players are you excited to see in the preseason? I want to see Alshon, definitely. I'm excited that, even though I didn't want him, I'm glad he's here now, so I'm excited to see him. I actually want to see Gibson. I want to see how Blunt looks. I want to see Smallwood. I want to see if Smallwood has gotten any better. And I kind of like Trey Burton a little bit. Your immediate reaction when Barnett was drafted was not good. There's video on it. I broke my sunglasses. I had to buy new ones. I was very mad because the one video I did beforehand was do not draft Derek Barnett. And I still believe that was a mistake. I believe it. I hope I'm wrong, but I believe it. Because I don't believe Barnett was the top guy on the board at the time. I believe it was a positional pick. I believe it was a Howie Roseman pick. And I believe that his mind was set on it all so that they could replace Brandon Graham next year. He didn't Gregory on your team. He has a lot of talent in young franchise. Barnett is a great pass rusher. Can't stop the run. Well, maybe. Does Wendell Smallwood have a... to me, he has to. Everybody does to me. Come on now. You know that, man. Do you hear that Dak Prescott proclaimed that the Cowboys will win the NFC East? I did not hear that, my man Spunky. Spunky's a great guy. He's got a new video, a new YouTube channel. Definitely check out Spunky. He's great. Good answer. Well, of course, I always have good answers. I always have some sort of answer. When do the Eagles cut Ryan Matthews? As soon as he's healthy, as soon as he clears, I guess, his injuries, that he can be cut. Cut him. Eagles are set for future. Oh, I missed that question. Whoever that was. Dak wouldn't win the NFC. Dak ain't going to win the NFC. Dak is going to struggle this year. Dak has not gone through any of the hiccups. He hasn't gone through losses. He hasn't gone through getting hit and getting banged up. All those things were avoided. He had a great year, but he has a lot to learn. That's what I like about where Wentz is. Wentz did all the struggling. He went through the bad times. He went through the losing streaks. And you know what? He showed how good he was by doing that. That's why I really liked him. What do you think of Carson's comments on winning the... I'll be honest with you. I didn't hear what Carson said. You can tell me. I'll tell you. St. Jones will be elite. I think so. Yeah, I got a PS4. I do. Clement makes cut and running. Yeah, I think Clement is going to get cut. I think that he's going to get cut, and then he's going to wind up on the practice squad. Do you think the Eagles will finally beat the Redskins this year? Man, when I'm coming out with my pre-training camp prediction show tomorrow, and in that I will say that the first game I have them beating the Redskins. So I will tell you all right now, I have the Eagles in the first two games starting 1-1. Rasul Douglas has shut down corner. I think so. I love, Eagle Speed. Me and you talked during the draft. Like, I went on your channel, and I told you, I love that guy. I thought that was a great pick. Imagine if we signed Kenny Britt over Jeffrey. Yeah, and I bet you they were planning on it. I think it just worked out that Jeffrey wanted to go play with Carson. Now, whether he wants to play with Carson to get his numbers up, to get a big contract somewhere else, or he wants to be an Eagle, that we'll have to see. I believe Torrey Smith will bounce back and have a great year. Billy, I disagree completely. I think he gets cut in training camp. Can I add you a Pro Bowl? What kind of games do you have in Rainbow 3? Rainbow 3? I don't have it. I have Call of Duty. Can I beat my... I don't know, man. You guys are hard on EDP. I like EDP. You guys are hard on him. I like him. I like everybody that speaks their mind. What NFC East team best wide receiver core? The Giants. I think in the NFC East, you got to go with the Giants. I definitely think the Giants, especially getting Brandon Marshall, I would say the Giants have the best. Yeah, Gregory, I watch him sometimes. I don't watch enough of his stuff to know what he says or doesn't say. I I wish everybody the best. I believe people should go speak their mind. I like everybody. I have no problems with anybody, you know. Oh, I forgot. Nelson Aguilar is not going to is not going to his job. Oh, probably Philly 500. I have the better intro. Torrey Smith isn't Ruben Randall, but if we cut him, who starts? Aguilar? I don't know that he's going to get cut. I'm just talking crap. I don't think he's going to get cut because I don't think that anybody can replace him. But I don't think he's going to have a bounce back year. I think that the decline of Torrey Smith is real. I think it started back in Baltimore, and I think it's wishful thinking that he isn't. 1991 defense or Chip Kelly's... Were you kidding? 1991 defense on Chip Kelly's offense. How about that? Will your wife ever appear in your videos? Sure, if she wants, sure. She wants. My kids want to come on every day. They want to be part of it. They are ready to come on and tell you about Minecraft and kitty cats and whatever toys they're playing, DC Supergirls. Let's have faith in Torrey Smith. Well, I don't know. Why should I have faith in Torrey Smith? I can't do it. Did you say Call of... Maybe I said Call of... Maybe. Paul Turner or Nelson Aguilar? I would say probably Nelson Aguilar just because he's going to be there, and I don't think Paul Turner will. Jeffrey was the #1 free agent according to NFL Network. Yeah, he was. I think he probably was definitely the #1 free agent. But the thing about it is he has, if you look at his numbers, the last few years, they've been declining. You know, when he had Brandon Marshall, that was his best year. I think it was like his second year. The question with him is can he be healthy? That I don't know. And they were talking about like $18 million. Like seriously, they were saying $18 million or more to sign Jeffrey, which was totally ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you, if he doesn't sign with the Eagles, you're going to see me go off big time, especially if he's healthy. Because I'm telling you, I'm worried about it. You know what I mean? I was born in South Philly. Then I moved to South Jersey, where I was in Washington Township for many, many years. But I was young when I left, so I wasn't there long enough. If you can pick one wide receiver to come to the Eagles, who would be? In the whole league? In the whole league? Go Big Blue in the whole league? Give me Julio Jones. I'll take Julio Jones right now. I know Antonio Brown. I mean, Antonio Brown is really good, but give me Julio Jones. Jeffrey said he wants a long-term deal. Yeah, I know, Tristan, but you know what? Everybody says that when they want a long-term deal. But the question is, let's say Alshon goes out, has 85 catches, 1,400 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Okay, let's say he does that. What happens if he wants the highest amount of money he can get and he walks? And we can't do nothing about it. We can franchise him, but that's a lot of money, you know? So I know he says it, but he wasn't drafted by the Eagles. So I don't know what his loyalty is. We have to see what's in his heart. We can't judge. Okay, Kevin, have a good night at school. I love your videos, bro. Check out. I have not, but I will. I hate, but I've arrived. You're late, but you arrived. Is Goodell the worst commissioner in sports? You know, he may be. I really don't like Goodell. But I got to tell you, I think that the union does a disservice to the players. Because the union is going to try to get the best deal for the players. And for these deals where they give the commissioner control and the ability to suspend and that kind of stuff is totally bad and ridiculous. And I don't like him at all. You like boneless chicken? What? Do you like boneless pizza? Yeah. What pizza has bones? I'm watching this in the pool right now. That's cool. Don't drop your phone or whatever in the pool and get it wet and blow up or get electrocuted. You don't want that to happen. Where I saw there's a Merrill Reese question by who did you want 2000 draft when we picked at 13? When we picked at 13. And let's say the players that were on. Initially, I wanted Corey Davis, but he went way too early. So when we got to the point where there was guys on the board and we were picking, there's two guys that came to mind. O.J. Howard, okay? And then, who was the other kid? The kid from Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker, the safety. I would have took one of those two guys. Because, look, if you're going to go out and get Sidney Jones anyways in the second round, and then you took Malik Hooker in the first, that would be a hell of a secondary setup for the years to come with Hooker and Sidney Jones. But I would have probably took O.J. Howard or him. One of those two I would have taken, because I think that they were higher rated, in my opinion, than Derek Barnett. I had Derek Barnett rated somewhere between like 25 and 32, somewhere in that area. And I thought O.J. Howard was a top 10 overall talent. And same with Hooker. So those are the two guys I would have taken, one of those two. You know, but it didn't work out that. Bird's best player is not Wentz, it's Hicks. He better get recognition this year. Yeah, you know what? Hicks is probably my second favorite player on the Eagles, besides Wentz. I think he's that good too. But I do think Wentz is going to take a big step. But I think that Hicks is a legit one of the best middle linebackers in football. Who do you think is better, Dak or Wentz? And try not to be biased. Okay, so if I'm trying not to be biased about it, and I look at Wentz and I look at Dak, this is how I do it. Can Carson Wentz have stepped into the Dallas Cowboys team and put up the same type of numbers, did the same type of things that Dak did? Do I believe that? Yes. Can Dak Prescott handle the adversities that Wentz had to deal with for the Eagles? That I don't know. We don't know how he handles it. Although he showed himself good when he did play Green Bay and they were losing, I was impressed with that. But I would say no. I'd say Wentz. I still think Wentz is better. Yeah, I think so too, Jorge. I think he's going to have an off year. Would you like old jerseys back? Possibly. Yeah, I would, Eagles. I would. I would like to see the Kelly Green come back in some way. I know it's not going to be the old way exactly, but I would like them to take the green, the black, all the stuff that they have today and put the Kelly Green back in, because to me, Eagles are Kelly Green, and they should always have been Kelly Green. So I have to say that. Asian Rice, you said you subbed to me earlier. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Cowboys fans actually think they're going 3-30, 12-4. It's really, yeah, they do. And you know what? So do a lot of Eagle fans. They think that the Eagles are going that. We all do it. We all do it, you know. But the Cowboys, I think, will finish in third place behind the Eagles. Of course, you got to ignore the haters. Read the undersigned comments. Where? Read what? Giants 11-5. Giants 11-5, maybe. I think the Giants are probably, they're in the 2-year window. Giants have about like a 2-year window, and then it's all over for them. Hey, buddy, how you doing? My Giants are going 11-5 at best, maybe 12-4. One of the losses being against the Eagles. No, 2 of your losses are going to be against the Eagles. But you still may go 11-5. The Giants probably are the best team in the division. If you call it. Oh, I missed that question. Cowboys are not good enough team with huge hole at offensive line and running back. Wait, what? Man, I just missed that question. I'm sorry. Eagles have a nice roster. Yeah, I think their roster's okay. To me, the whole thing about the roster for the Eagles isn't what we have now. It's what can we keep. Because you got a second-year quarterback. I mean, at what point do we keep these guys long-term? That's when I will start to be like, I love the Alshon signing. I love this signing. When these guys are converted into long-term signings. But right now, to me, I feel like we just renting players again. Draft is always the key, Philly Sports Nation. It's always the key to it. I agree. EDP, can I take you? No, you cannot, because I'm happily married, but thank you. Honestly, if the Giants can beat the Raiders and Chiefs, I won't be as mad if we get swept against the Eagles. Yeah, I understand that. But you're going to get swept. And if you don't get swept, then, you know, I have to eat it, right? I have to come on and say I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. You know, if the Giants don't get swept, then I've got to eat it. But, you know, what are you going to do? I think the Eagles are going to beat the Giants twice. I really do. Yes, the Cowboys, I heard the Cowboys is not winning the Super Bowl. No, Cowboys are not winning the Super Bowl. I don't think we will beat the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders, I think, are a good team. But I still think in the end, I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to beat New England. And I tell you what, Brandon Cooks with Tom Brady is really scary. The Giants are so overrated by the national media, and some fans have holes in. Yeah, I think the Giants are the best team in the division. I mean, I think signing Brandon Marshall, I think they got a good defense. I think their defensive line from an end perspective is better than the Eagles. I think the Eagles' interior is better. And I think that the Giants, they have the Cowboys' number. So I don't know. I think the Giants are the favorites in the NFC East. But we'll still sweep them. Do you think the Giants can go to the Super Bowl? Yeah, I don't put it past the Giants to go to the Super Bowl. If the Giants get in the playoffs, they have a shot. What should we expect from Doug Peterson this year? His walking papers. I expect Doug Peterson to get fired. Not during the season, but I think by the end of the year. I'm not a Doug Peterson fan. Now, maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. Yeah, I think the Eagles beating Dallas, and Dallas is possible, definitely. Now, I have to relook at the schedule, but Dallas always gets us like late in the year when it don't matter. Doug Peterson hired. Yeah, that's my prediction. That's my conspiracy theory. That Doug Peterson is only a holdover. He's only holding the fort down for Harbaugh. Because when Harbaugh leaves Baltimore, he's coming back to Philly. The Eagles were upset they let him go. You know that, right? They know that they made a mistake. And you got guys in there now that are from Baltimore. It makes a lot of sense. Peterson will do better. He did stupid shit trying to speak to the team. I think, well, to me, Doug Peterson has the most to prove than anybody. I think Harbaugh's very good. Yes. Can the Eagles beat the Packers in the preseason? Yeah, they can beat the Packers in the preseason because they're probably going to beat them. Because you know why? Because they're not going to play Aaron Rodgers. I mean, is he even going to get it down? I wouldn't even play him. Should the Eagles consider promoting Schwartz to what? A coach? I don't want Jim Schwartz as a head coach. I'm not a big Jim Schwartz fan, to be honest with you. I think he's okay, but I would not want him as a head coach. No. I do not think he would be a good head coach. Not either, but are you afraid of MB getting hurt in the... I'm always afraid of MB getting hurt, yeah. How do you start on my iPhone? I go to live stream and do it. More excited about the Sixers or the Eagles? Sixers probably, but if the Eagles, I can't say that. That's hard because I think the Sixers are in position to do better, but the Eagles are my first love. So you know, I'm always excited. Eagles, even when they're going to stink, I still just the fact that football's almost here. It's almost here. I can't wait. Are you ready for football, man? God, I'm ready. I hate waking up Sundays. Every Sunday I wake up, I'm like, I hate it. It's so boring. But on a Sunday in football season, when you know it's tomorrow and it's Saturday night and you can't sleep because you're so excited about the game, less than a month until preseason, I can't wait. Now listen, do you guys have, like, how do you guys watch the game? I know there's a lot of guys that are not from the Philly area. I'm not in the Philly area right now anymore, but I have DirecTV. What do you guys use? Now, because if you do use DirecTV, I got a plan. I got something I did that worked that may save you a little bit of money. Do you need the YouTube app? I think so. The NFC is a wide, no juggernaut. Eagles roster is filled with talent. Yeah, Holly, they're filled with talent. But what does that mean? I mean, here's the thing, okay? In football, you've seen teams try to put together these dynasty teams, get all the best free agents around, right? We've all seen it. But in football, if you don't have chemistry, if you don't know where guys are going to be at, it always takes a while to get going. It could take up to a year. So the question isn't, to me, the talent. It's how soon can that talent gel together. That's what I want to know, you know. The reason I asked about the DirecTV was because I called them up there's a way you can call them up and maybe get a discount if you talk to the right people. So I can tell people that if you have it and you want to know, reach out to me and I'll tell you how to do it. Who scares you in the NFC? Dallas, Giants, no Falcons, no Seahawks? No. Well, Doug Peterson scares me in the NFC. He scares me. I think the Packers are scary. You don't think the Packers are scary? I think Tampa Bay is an up-and-coming team. I mean, that team has got a lot of talent. I think they could be. I think there's some scary teams. What do you mean? I think Doug Peterson needs to go. I think he's. Yeah, I do too. I don't believe the Eagles signed Doug Peterson for any other reason than to give Howie Roseman no more problems from a coach. And I believe that's why he signed. And I don't believe Doug Peterson used Carson Wentz the right way. I don't believe he did at all. And I think that was a problem also. So, if you guys use DirecTV, I'm telling you, when you call, if you call them and you want the ticket, there's a way to do it. I will tell you how to do it. Text me or message me on the thing, and I'll tell you what I did. I'm only paying $99 for a whole year, so you just got to know what to say, and I'll help any Eagle fan I can help watch the game. I would love to help. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't, but hey, I'll try. I can't wait until the Patriots lose Brady and the Packers lose Rodgers. Then we have a real shot. Yeah, but isn't that kind of pathetic that we have to wait for guys to leave? I mean, we need to build a team that can just beat those guys, and that's what we need to do. That's what we need to be focused on. And Carson Wentz is the whole. He's the whole shabam, shabam. He's it. Because if Carson Wentz is an elite quarterback, we're going to win. Look, if Carson Wentz takes a huge jump last year, like a Mariota jump, if he plays in his second year like, let's say, Mariota did before he got hurt, to me, the Eagles are winning the division and they're probably winning a playoff game. That's how much he can impact this team. That's what I think. So, yeah, I would say Carson Wentz is the man and he's the guy we have to worry about. I would want my team to beat Rodgers and Brady. Yeah, you want to beat those guys. Love Foles is back. I love Foles as a backup too. I liked Foles when he was a starter. I thought he got a raw deal. You think the Giants-Cards will be the best game of the year? I don't know. I don't think the Cardinals are that good. Schwartz should be happy and can you continue defensive coordinator if he wants to win. Sorry if I'm reading it so quick. I got to slow down so you guys can hear the questions too. It just comes so quick that it's like boom, boom, gone, boom. And it's like 3 or 4 at a time. Jim or John Harbaugh? Jim or John? John, should we fire everyone? Yes, everybody. Fire everybody. My favorite going up is just personal. My favorite. Oh, yeah, that's cool. But why the Cardinals, though? What, would you like the desert? Can you play football? I used to play football. Yeah, played in high school. Played in before high school. Should have played in college. Which team do you think has the best wide receivers duo in the NFL? Best wide receiver duo? Oh, man. Yeah, I have to think about that. I think the Giants duo is pretty good, right? I think that if the Pittsburgh Steelers have Martavius Bryant, they're pretty good. I have to go through all the teams in my head. I definitely think the Buccaneers are a team that could be up there. Yeah, I need to sit down and go through all the teams to tell you exactly who. It's just running into the Giants fan last night, seeing the Super Bowls. Giants fan? I just run into a Giants. Des Beasley, I'm not sold on Beasley. I think Beasley's a good slot guy. I don't, Beasley doesn't. Jordy and Devon, yeah, Green Bay may be up there too. Green Bay always has it. Yeah, Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree's pretty good. I really think the Raiders are scary. Man, I think they're scary. I think they are. And if Marshawn Lynch, I don't know how much he can play or what he has left, but they're scary. That's a scary team, and it's a shame what happened to them. I felt bad for the Raiders. I thought that they should have been in a position where they should have, they should have beaten Houston. How about the Giants lose Eli Manning? That's coming. There's about 2 years left, I think, in Eli's window. Giants have like a 2-year window, right? In like a year or 2 years, the Giants are going to be done because Eli's going to go, and they're going to stink for a while until they get a quarterback. And it's going to be Eagles and Cowboys, and I think that's the way it is. And then with the Redskins, what the hell is with the Redskins? How do you treat your franchise quarterback like that? I'm sorry, I don't think that they treat that guy well enough that he wants to stay. What franchise quarterback wants to leave the way he does? That's crazy, you know. I think that it's probably the Eagles and Dallas for the next Yeah, Kirk Cousins has been treated horrible in my opinion because I don't know any quarterback who's the starter of a team that wants out the way he does. You know, no, the Redskins don't know how to run a team, and they haven't since Schneider took over. It's been crazy. And to be honest, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was living in Maryland, Brian Mitchell had just gone to the Giants from the Eagles, but he was holding a charity event in Rockville, Maryland, and a friend of mine was going and invited me to go. So I went there, and Brian Mitchell was making drinks and stuff, and he made me a drink and that kind of thing. And Brian Westbrook had just finished his rookie year. I went over to Westbrook and I met him, and he was like, sit down, and he talked for a few minutes. He was really a nice guy, and it was Brian Mitchell was holding this charity thing, and he was saying this owner has destroyed this team. Now I think he's made amends with the Redskins since, but it was interesting. You know, Brian Mitchell was nice. He made me drinks. He was cool too. He was telling us how he's going to rub it in and what he was going to do when he scored on the Eagles. It was funny. November 26th, who wins, Eagles or the Bears? I mean, is that even a real question? The Eagles. The Bears have no chance. I think the Bears stink. And that was a bizarre move that they made in the draft. I thought that was insane. You know, I thought it was really insane. You need to have a quicker responses. I'm sorry. I apologize. 3 to 4 years, I don't think so. He's declining already, just like Palmer last season. What is your favorite Eagles jersey that you own? Well, I've been jinxed with Eagles jerseys like over the past 5-6 years. My favorite Eagles jersey that I own right now is that one, because that's the only active player right now, because I refuse to buy Eagles jerseys until I know a guy's actually going to stay. I am going to be getting a Wentz jersey shortly though. That will happen. So that will be my favorite jersey. What time is your record video coming? What record video? Who do you think will be the biggest bust in the most recent draft? Who do I think that... Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know. Ask me that after preseason. I'll tell you. I honestly hate Dak, but I have to admit he's much better than he should have been. Well, we'll see. Let's see what Dak is this year. Let's see what Dak does when he throws a couple interceptions. He has a bad game. When he doesn't have his line, he's getting hit and beaten, banged around. That's when I want to see him. That's when I want to see what he is. Because right now, who knows? Oh, the record prediction video, it comes out tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow. Do you have any good ideas for videos during seasons or game day? Well, I'm going to do a live stream pre-video, so before the game, hour or two before the game starts, probably a couple hours before, so people have a chance to start getting ready and drinking and grilling and whatever you do. I'll do a pre-game, I'll do a post-game, and those probably both will be live. There's no reason for me to do a reaction video and record it when I can just live stream it now. So that's what I'll be doing, you know. All 16 games. Nobody has more troll accounts than, yeah, I guess. I guess. How can the Eagles ensure getting Barkley? Okay, well, you're gonna have to trade up for him, because let's face it, if they make the playoffs, if they go 10-6, 9-7, there's no way they're getting Barkley. So you're going to have to trade for him. Yeah, it's probably really not going to happen, but it's my dream that they could get him, you know. Unless he drops. I mean, maybe we can, you know, get him to smoke some pot or something and drop him draft into the late first round, fall right to us. I don't know. I want the great O-lineman in draft. Yeah, we're going to need a great O-lineman. We're going to need... Well, you know, here's the thing. I'm going to say this about the O-line. I want to say this because this is interesting. I was adamant about getting Peters out of here, right? I wanted Peters gone because I love Peters, but he's older and because he makes so much money. But when I heard that they're thinking of moving him to the guard position at some point, that changes my perspective. Because if he could play guard and add 2-3 more years to his career, I'm all for it. That would change my perspective. So I haven't really said that, but I did talk about getting rid of him as a left tackle and moving Lane over, which I still think they need to do. But putting him inside, to me, is actually a really smart move, and I do back that 100%. You know, quarterbacks for the Jets. Which team do you think is a good matchup for the Eagles? Not too hard and not too easy. A good matchup? Well, I mean, the NFC East matchups are always entertaining, right? I mean, no matter what happens, no matter how good a team is or how bad, you know those matchups are always going to be, going to be good. I think a good matchup would be like against Carolina. I think a good matchup could be against Tampa, although I think we match up horrible with Tampa Bay. I think we match up horrible. I think O.J. Howard, man, God, O.J. Howard in Tampa. Oh, my gosh. You know, OBJ is overrated, but Marshall isn't. I don't know if I don't think he's overrated, and I think Marshall, if he's healthy, he gives them a whole dimension that they didn't have. The question with the Giants is going to be their offensive line. What can the Giants' offensive line do to protect Eli? Do you hate when your nuts are sweaty and you have vinegary balls? That don't really happen to me because I'm a cool customer. I gotta relax a little bit, chill out. You don't, it'll be all right. Don't forget about Sterling Shepard. Yeah, I like Sterling Shepard. What positions do you think we'll get next draft and in the first round? Next draft, well, it depends because we could lose up to like 19 guys. Do you realize we could be in a position next year? Just hear this out. Where we lose 3 of our receivers. We lose Alshon. We have to cut Torrey Smith. Maybe he stinks. And then you have Matthews gone. So we could need 3 wide receivers, a running back, just for starters. So who knows? It depends who they can sign. I mean, if I'm looking at it right now from where we're at, I would say probably a linebacker or interior lineman, but I don't want an interior lineman too early. How do you feel about Reuben Foster? I wanted him in the Eagles. I love Reuben Foster. I would have been perfectly okay with it, but I did hear about his shoulder injury, and I knew that was a concern. So that's why I put Malik Hooker and O.J. Howard above him. Who do you think the best NFC East quarterback? Carson Wentz. I believe Carson Wentz. I just believe in this kid. So I'm going to say Carson Wentz. Do you hate it? No, I don't. I don't know. You guys have problems. If Alshon is healthy and putting up great numbers, I think we should resign him mid-season. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that the Eagles can afford to let Alshon Jeffrey go. If you let Alshon Jeffrey go, then everything you worked for this year has been thrown out the door, in my opinion. You have to make sure that he's there. AFC East of the NBA. Yeah. Okay, stop with these questions. How do you feel about Carson? I love Carson, Mike. I love Carson Wentz. I think he is going to be an elite quarterback. I believe he's a franchise quarterback. I just like the way he conducts himself. I like the way he handles himself. I think he has a big arm. And I like last year when they struggled and when they were going through hard times, I just like the way he carried himself. And I think that showed me a lot. It's easy to look at Dak, right? And this is the argument I always make about Dak Prescott is, you can look great when everything's going good. When nobody's hitting you and sacking you and you got all day and you got a great running back and a great offensive line. It's very easy to sit there and think you're great. But when things go bad and things get hard and you get your quarterback beat up and the team is losing and these things are all happening, how's he going to handle himself then? That's my question. Carson passed the test, and to me, that's the hardest test. So now I want to see Carson in the good times. I want to see Carson make a couple late comebacks and win the game at the end. Those are the kind of things I want to see. But when you have, it's easy to be, look, in life, right? We say this to, if you're married, it's easy to love your wife and get along with everybody when everything's good. But it's when things go bad that you see people's true character. And I think the same goes for football. That's why I like Carson Wentz, because he showed me a lot in that year, And I'm not saying Dak doesn't have that either. It's just he hasn't had to show that yet. But Carson did. I mean, it was a tough season. Who do you think the next wins for Dak matchup will go? I think it'll be an Eagles win. I think that Dallas is going to struggle. I think Dallas is going to come back down to earth a lot. I think Dallas will finish third, and they're going to miss the playoffs. That's what I think. So I think the Eagles are going to beat Dallas early. I think the Eagles are going to be ready for that game because they know one got away last year. When do you think the Eagles win a Super Bowl? I'll say 2 to 4 years, depending on this upcoming offseason, who we retain, who we let go. Do you believe in miracles or dead? I do believe in miracles. I do. I'm very superstitious, and I'm very, I believe in all that. If you guys can't stop Elliott, you're in trouble. Yeah, if you can't stop Elliott, you're in trouble. And for the Eagles, I think with Jordan Hicks, with Fletcher Cox, with Jernigan, they better be able to stop him. And that's what those guys should be able to do. But of course, yeah, if you can't stop the running game on any team, you're not going to win. And that is definitely true. I feel our corners, I think our corners are very scary, and I'm very worried about them. Your DL line good enough? I think our interior line is very good. I think the question is, how is our outside defensive ends? How are our pass rushers? I know Brandon Graham had a great year last year. He's got to do it again. And he's got to convert some of those hurries into actual sacks. You can't just have 5.5 sacks every year and say, well, I got a lot of hurries. Sometimes you got to get it done. So I think that's a big question mark for me. I definitely. Would you rather have Eagles play Pats or Ravens in Super Bowl? Patriots. I want to beat the best. I want to beat the best. I don't want any excuses. I want to beat Brady. I want to beat Brady. I want to say we beat Brady. I don't want to beat Baltimore and say, well, you didn't have to play New England, because that's all you would hear. What happened to the Eagles after 3-0 start? Here's what happened, in my opinion. The Eagles go 3-0. Then they go on a bye week. They come back. Teams have made some sorts of adjustments. The coach makes no adjustments. It was 4 or 5 weeks of doing the same thing. I could call out the plays. You could call. My kids could call out the Eagles' plays. And they didn't adjust until late in the year. And it just wore the team down. And the corners in the secondary was horrible. It was atrocious. And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that's going to worry me and worry you. I don't know how much better our cornerbacks are right now going into the season. I don't know if we're if we're really that much better. I think by the year end we will be with some of the rookies, but right now starting the season, I don't know that we're any better than we were last year at the corner. We don't know. We don't know. What team would you want versus the Eagles? The Patriots. Give me the Patriots. Giants last in division. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Giants would finish last. Who do you think will be the best Eagles player this year? Carson Wentz and Jordan Hicks. Now, I know my man earlier said don't put Carson ahead of Hicks. So I'm going to say Carson Wentz on offense, Jordan Hicks on defense. Who do you think have the best defense in the NFL? I don't know. I have to look at the teams. Minnesota's pretty good. Kansas City, I think weren't they pretty good? I can't remember how their defense was. I have to sit down and look at it. Right off on the spot, I don't know. But I know the Eagles don't have the best defense. I know that they're definitely short of it, I would say. We did not really use our tight ends last year. Yeah, well, every time our tight end ran a route, he got knocked, he fell on the ground. Eli throws picks, cherry picking, yeah, he does throw a lot of picks. But the thing about Eli, okay, is that when you're in the playoffs and it's the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, or if it's the playoffs in Green Bay or Dallas, he comes up big, and you can't deny that. You know, I think it's funny how people trash Eli Manning a lot because he's old or this. And now, look, I'm not an Eli Manning fan. I'm not a Giant fan. But the reality is you win 2 Super Bowls, you got to give the guy some credit, right? I mean, you got to give him credit, and I think that he gets treated like he's some stinky quarterback, you know. And I think that's not true. And I'm gonna say, you said something about Bortles. I think the Jaguars are a sleeper team that people aren't talking about. I think that they're going to have a better year, especially with Fournette, and I think that they're going to be okay. And I think they may sneak in the playoffs. The Jaguars, that's a sleeper pick. Quincy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thank you for joining me. Let me get a drink here. Eli will lead the league in interceptions. Nah, I don't think so. How many wins will we win? I will be putting out my prediction video tomorrow. Who do you think will win the fight between Carson Wentz or Tom Brady? Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz will whip him. He'll whip his butt. Yeah, I don't think Brady could take Carson Wentz. Do I consider Carson Wentz a dual threat? I do, but I don't like him in the read option. I think trying to run him in the read option like a Alex Smith, right? Let's face it, Doug Peterson wants Alex Smith. He wants Alex Smith back. I don't think he's a read option type of guy. But I think that the thing about Carson Wentz is that he can run if the play breaks down and scramble. And to me, that's in some ways, I like that better than trying to run the read option. And I like that idea of him running when the play breaks down. But I also like about Carson, and this is what he has that I think, like Aaron Rodgers has this, Ben has this, and I think Carson can have it too, is the ability to move in the pocket, right? But keep your eyes downfield and stay in the pocket, buy time for your receivers. I think Carson could really do that. And they should be teaching him that more, and they didn't. They were trying... Doug Peterson was trying to run the read option with him, and he almost got his knees blown off a couple times. And then I'm supposed to say, this is the greatest coach ever. This coach is good. He stinks. Like, Doug Peterson makes me mad. I think Doug will be more aggressive because he has more talent. Okay, I don't mind if he's more aggressive, but, you know, stupid 4th down calls are stupid. Be aggressive. Go long in the first half. Throw the ball over 5 yards. I saw somewhere where Carson was like in 4 or 5 games in a row, or maybe not in a row, but he had under 4 yards per attempt throwing. I blame the coach. I blame the coach. What routes are these guys running? Did you ever watch the Eagles? Like, go back and watch the routes the receivers run. They're horrible. Do you think the Eagles, San Diego Superchargers, I missed that one. Kirk Cousins is going to leave the Redskins. I think so. I think he's going to, definitely. I think he's gone, and I think it's sad because I don't know how many teams, you know, actually let their franchise quarterback, who's pretty good, by the way. I kind of like Kirk Cousins a little bit. Just walk. They're going to, you know. Kirk. Yeah, you know, it sounds like the 49ers are trying to set that up. He wants to set that up. But we'll see what happens. But I could definitely see Kirk Cousins in San Francisco. Yeah, I think 49ers is where he goes. This dude is on crack. Oh, yeah? You got something for me? Come on, pass it over here. If you're talking about me, I don't know. I'm just joking around. Remember that play where Wentz ducked? Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Where Wentz ducked down 3 Giants defenders and ran for the first down. Sorry, I stopped reading it, guys. I know I got to work on that. And remember, I'm reading to people might not know the question. Yeah, where Wentz ducked the 3 Giant defenders and ran. Yeah, I remember that. It was beautiful, and that's what he can do, and that's what he needs to do more of. When the play breaks down, he needs to go. Kyle, who's your favorite Eagle ever? Reggie White is my favorite Eagle ever. I love Reggie, then Brian Dawkins, then Randall Cunningham. Remember the play where Wentz got knocked on his ass by our defensive line? I don't remember that play, Nick. I think you were dreaming. The Cowboys, yeah, that's right. Cowboys are nothing. Caleb Sturgis still scares me. Yeah. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, he scares me too. Remember the time when Wentz used his penis like Mr. Elastic? I don't know, man, what you're watching. but it's some freaky stuff. I don't remember that. I remember when Wentz became our franchise quarterback. I remember when Wentz came out against Cleveland with like less than a week notice as a starting quarterback and whipped up the Cleveland Browns, then whipped up on Chicago, and then beat the crap out of Pittsburgh. That game was beautiful. And then he came out, he played really good against Detroit, but they made no adjustments. And then they went, I think they played Washington after that, and it got bad. That's when Doug Peterson really started to peel away his weaknesses. Do you know that I don't think that, now I don't know off the top of my head, does anybody know, did Carson Wentz throw 3 touchdown passes in one game last year at all? Anybody remember? Did he throw 3 touchdowns at all last year in one game? Because I don't think he threw 3 touchdowns in one game last year. Does anybody know? Because I don't, I can't remember. Caleb Sturgis is fine. Caleb Sturgis is fine. If you, yeah, you know, he's all right. You're giving the impression that Wentz has superpowers or something. He needs to prove more to me. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Michael, but you got to understand this. I'm an Eagle fan who's looking at my team probably in a biased way, who also is really hard on his team. I'm hard on my team. But he's been the one redeeming quality that I've seen that I can say, yes, this is why we were on the right track, because of this guy. And I think that's why I talk about him like that. I don't think Kirk Cousins going to the Chargers. Do you like Doug Peterson, likes to roll up cheese pizza slices? Yeah, I don't know. Giants are going to sweep the Eagles like always. Like always? What country you live in? Are you in Bizarro World? Because Giants never sweep the Eagles. We own the Giants. I mean, it's not even debatable. Cowboys beat all the good defenses. Cowboys beat all the good defenses. They didn't beat the good offenses. They didn't beat Green Bay. They didn't beat the Giants twice. You lost to the Giants 2 times. The Giants own you. Okay? The Giants own Dallas. I don't understand how Dallas Cowboy fans act like they're better than the Giants. You haven't beaten the Giants. You should be worried about beating the Giants. That's the truth, you know? That's the truth. And the thing about the Dallas is, in the playoffs, the first game of the playoffs, you choked. Dallas has become a choking team. I mean, you know, I'm sorry, but they have. Landon Collins wins, I think. Landon Collins is great, you know. But, you know, the Giants beat and own Dallas. That's just the way it is. And you know what? Dallas is going to struggle this year. Dallas got a big mark on them. Besides the satanic helmet, they got a big target. Everybody knows what Dallas did last year. They're going to be ready for Dallas. And I want to see how Prescott, you know, how he acts when he's getting pressure, when that running game ain't going exactly the way he needs. I want to see him have to make the hard passes, the hard yards. Now, he showed me something in Green Bay game, but that's about it. You know what I mean? First off, you gotta you gotta repeat that, my friend, because it faded away. Yeah, well, Dallas has not been able to win a playoff game either. I mean, they haven't won a playoff game in a long time. Like us Eagles, what do you mean? I don't think Zeke is overrated. No, I think he is a legit beast. I think he's a legit beast. I think that offensive line last year, to me, that Dallas offensive line was one of the best lines I've seen in a long time. I'm not going to lie. I want to give Dallas the credit, the best I can, but I don't think Dallas is unbeatable. I mean, the Eagles really, the Dallas Eagle game, they kicked the crap out of Dallas for the whole game and then choked. You know? Dallas don't deserve it. Yeah, I hear you. Cowboys let them for life. Try winning a playoff game. At least the Eagles almost made the Super Bowl many times in a century and lost one to the Pats. Yeah. Dallas, look, Dallas has won many Super Bowls a long time ago before probably most of you were born. I suffered through those years. I had to suffer. And since then, Dallas has done nothing. And Romo has turned Dallas into a team of chokers. Because who fumbles the field goal, right? Or was it the field goal or was it an extra point? I can't remember. To lose. He lost playoff games no matter how it was meant to be, he would lose. And then they come out with new quarterback and they lose again. So look, Dallas are the new chokers. They're the new chokers of the NFL. Dallas, today's chokers. They should get credit. They should do a video on NFL Network about it. When was the last time the Cowboys won a division game? Oh, yeah, me and you both. Would we have made the playoffs last year if Lane didn't get suspended? I will say we didn't. We wouldn't have, because I don't think the coach showed that he could adjust to other teams at all. I mean, he didn't do any adjustment for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then he finally did a little bit at the end. So I'll say they still would have missed it, but they would have been a lot better. I mean, it really hurt. I think Wentz's progression would have been a lot better. His stats would have been a lot better. But I still think they would have missed the playoffs last year. 1996 is the last time Dallas... Nobody can beat us. Nobody. Oh, yeah, all right. Except for the Giants, they beat you twice. They beat you twice last year. Don't you guys... Dallas don't remember that. You guys, man, I need some Dallas pills, because whatever happens, they forget. They forget that the Giants beat them twice. The Giants beat you twice. You have to beat the Giants first. Dallas' whole division, whole big bang is they got to beat the Giants. They don't beat the Giants, then there's nothing they can do about it. That's how I see it with the Giants. I mean, with Dallas, you know. But look, in Dallas's defense, I'll say this. I'll say that Prescott showed me more in that loss to Green Bay than he showed me all year. That's how I feel. How would you like the Eagles to win the Super Bowl? I'd like the Eagles to win the Super Bowl over the Patriots. I'd like to see them beat the Packers in the conference final. Then I'd like to see them beat the Patriots, and I would like to see Wentz in overtime play action fake. They can't find the ball. The camera can't find the ball. It's overtime. He pumps. He fires 50 yards downfield. Touchdown. See you later. We'll give it to Alshon Jeffries. That's how I want to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl. Obviously, I've thought about this and imagined this many, many times in my life. And unfortunately, it never happened, because we're on like 8 or 9 different quarterbacks now. Eagles and Giants will be fighting it out for... Joe, really? You think? Okay, Joe, so tell me how the division's going to play out. When you win the division, you forget about how you deserve it. It could be here, equal repeat, but you won't. It's very hard to repeat winning the division. It's very hard to repeat going to the playoffs, you know? You Eagle fans are crazy. That's my man. What's up there, Cowboys legend for life? That's right. What's up? You tell them. We're crazy. We are crazy. We're crazy. You better know it. We are. I like Doug Peterson. He didn't have much to work with just with Wentz. That to me, you got to be careful with that line of thinking, because you're just making excuses for them. And then if we keep making excuses, then we go years and years before we actually make any changes. No, Wentz was there. There were guys there. Yeah, he didn't have a lot to work with, but he didn't even try things that he should have tried. He was so predictable in what he ran. You know, look, you may not have receivers that could go long, but do you really not even try? It's just like saying, hey, hey, whatever, hey, Redskins, we're not even going to throw long. Hey, Giants, we're not even going to run anything long. So don't worry about it. I mean, that's what he was doing. It was predictable. He was predictable. What's up, buddy? Cowboys fans really don't like the Eagles. I would know. My dad's like, yeah, they don't. Cowboys and Eagle fans really don't like each other. I think that's true. But, you know, I don't know about most people, but I stopped that, you know, where it is. I don't run my life based on that. That would be stupid if you can't really like people because they're Cowboy fans or which. That's stupid. I mean, you know, the funny thing is we all hate each other teams and they're all rivalries, right? But we all play under the NFL. It's the NFL's one umbrella, right? So we all really like the same thing. We're all really kind of the same. We just like different teams. And I like it as far as rivalry, but I would never hate anybody over that in real life. That's not me. Garrett is a puppet. Maybe. Philly 500. Isn't Jordan Matthews and Alshon one of the best duos in the league? Yeah. No, I don't think so. I'm not big on thinking Matthews is even going to be here after this year. So I don't think they are. No, I don't. I think they have talent. The thing that worries me about the Eagles receivers is their speed. I don't like the speed. I don't think we have enough speed. Alshon isn't a burner. Matthews isn't a burner. And Torrey Smith better be, but I worry about him. Do I think Alshon and Jordan Matthews are going to be good? Yeah, I think they're going to be good. But I don't think that they're burners. I mean, I don't think that they're the best duo. I don't think so. I don't think they're top 3. What up, Chris? Go Big Blue. Cowboys suck. See, Giants can talk bad about the Cowboys because they swept them. That's what I say. Can we beat the Chiefs? I mean, we can. I don't think we will in Kansas City. Kansas City is a very, very, very hard place to play. And actually, if it's one of the places I definitely want to see a football game one day. There's a few places in the NFL I definitely want to see, and that's one. But I think it's hard to beat. I think it's hard to beat Kansas City in Kansas City. I think that you have to remember Andy Reid is going to know what Doug Peterson's going to do. I trust that Andy Reid's going to be a better planner and have better strategy against Doug Peterson. I think it's a hard place to play. The entire NFL fears Dak Prescott. I don't fear. No, they don't. They feared that line, but that line's broken up now. Now there's big holes in the Dallas boat. The ship is sinking. Water is leaking, and we're coming, and we're going to take Dallas out. Dallas is going down this year. Ron Brooks or Aaron Grimes? Let's say Aaron Grimes. Why not? I'm not a big Ron Brooks fan. Where do you rank our O-line? I definitely don't think they're number 1 in the league. I thought that was really a bit crazy because I don't like Kelsey. I don't like the interior too much. I would rate their line probably top 10, top 12, somewhere around there. And if they can get Kelsey out, let's say they get Wisniewski and Warmack in at the center and guard position, I think that they could go to top 3 or 4. I think the tackle combination may be the best in the league. I really do, because I love Lane Johnson. And if Peters has anything left, then you've got a Hall of Fame player. So I would say definitely, they have the ability. If Lane didn't get suspended, you think we would have made the playoffs? I still don't think we would have made the playoffs. I think that Carson would have had a lot better statistics, a lot better progression, and we would have been really close. I think maybe we go into the last couple games having a chance, but I still don't think that you're going to win 3 more games because he's gone. I don't think that. I think the Eagles not having a secondary, I think the defense, I think the lack of weapons, and I think the coach was a big factor. I think the coach, another coach, and Lane Johnson, I think yes. I say if you had, let's say even if you had Andy Reid still, and then Lane played all year, I think you would, yeah. I don't feel the Cowboys, fear the Cowboys, yeah. Well, Dallas's offensive line is not the same. I think they lost a couple guys. But we did okay against them, yeah. But look, Dallas' offensive line was dominating. I mean, did you see how much time Prescott? When you have a rookie that has that much time, it's very easy to get adjusted to the NFL. And then you stick a stud running back, who was my second choice before we could get Wentz. I wanted Elliott. You're gonna give him a great opportunity. Should I take the over on the points in the Eagles? What is the total? We'll see. What's your favorite cornerbacks on the Eagle? Who's your favorite cornerbacks on the Eagle? I would say my favorite is Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas, the GOAT, Vic's GOAT. I would say Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas. Even though they've played not one game, I still got them on Sixers, yeah, Sixers were great. Sidney Jones was... Our O-line will be fine. In fact, even better. Even better? Well, I don't know how much better you could get than what they were last year. But if Dallas has a better offensive line, then that's going to that's going to be trouble for everybody. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen at all. My favorite off-season pickup. Draft or free agency? Free agency, I'll say probably LeGarrette Blount was my favorite, followed by Chance Warmack. It would be Alshon if Alshon signs an extension. As soon as he signs an extension, then I would say Alshon, but not on a one-year deal. Dak or Zeke get hurt, Dallas is done. True. Collins was hurt last year, Philly fireman, and Free was weekly. You'll see. Yeah, hey, he was, and we will see. But it's very hard to keep up that production that they were given. It's very hard for other guys to stay healthy again, and the league, the league knows Dallas. They've had a year to look at Dak, to look at Elliott, and we'll see what kind of adjustments they make. Because we've seen quarterbacks have great years that weren't great quarterbacks. We saw it with Nick Foles. When defensive coordinators have an all season to adjust to a team like Dallas with Prescott and Elliott, they come up with plans, and then can that player adjust or not? That's when you find out if a guy is really great or not. When they can make the adjustments that were made against them. Well, you're right about the Cowboys being annoying. Hey, they are what they are. But that's who they are. That's their DNA. Are you going to be any games this year? I don't know yet, Greg. I have nothing planned as of right now. But I always like to try to get up there. Dak is like RG3. Maybe. I think he's better than RG3 because RG3 wasn't taught how to be a quarterback that year one. He was taught to go run the read option. And when teams adjusted and he had to learn to play quarterback, he couldn't. Dak is a quarterback. Dak Prescott is a legitimate quarterback. I think he's going to be around. I do. I don't think he's going anywhere. But I do think they're going to have an all season. Who's the most complete team in the East? In the NFC East? The most complete team in the NFC East, I believe, is the New York Giants right now. Followed by, it could be Dallas or the Eagles. If we're talking for 1 year, I'll say the Eagles. But if you're talking for 2, 3, 4 years, I would say Dallas. Because Dallas has a lot more guys locked up than the Eagles. The Eagles, you got to remember, Eagles can lose 19 guys next year. What good is all these 1-year deals? I am so against the 1-year deals for a second-year quarterback. I am so against it. I hate it. I think it's horrible, and I think it's going to bite us in the butt at some point. I really do. I don't like it. If you have a Eli Manning and you're in the last couple years of his career and you want to go try to win a Super Bowl, fine. But when you have a second-year quarterback, I don't get the 1-year deals. I don't care about the cap. I don't care about all that. I don't like it. I think the Eagles are trying to balloon their records, balloon their wins, balloon everything to look like everything's going good, but then they're going to risk that third year of a big drop-off. That's what I'm afraid of. Yeah, once Eli goes, once we lose Eli, we're dead for at least 3 years. I agree, maybe longer, until you have a quarterback. You have to get a quarterback, and that's a very hard thing to do, Cowboys aren't complete because they have no defense. Yeah, well, that's true. They don't have a great defense, although I do like the corners that they picked up in the draft. I think they're going to be good too. Look, Dallas had a great year last year. It's very hard to come back and do what they did again. To think that they're just going to do it, I think is drinking Kool-Aid. I don't think Dallas is going to have the same year. I think Dallas is going to finish in third place in the division. That's what I think. Eli is the best quarterback in our franchise. It will take a long time to replace his talent and value in your franchise. I would like to. Yeah, he probably is. He's probably better than yeah, probably. I'm trying to think who else Giants had that was. Yeah, Eli's probably the best in your division. I agree with that. Giants don't have an O-line or a running back. That's true, T. Bates. They don't. They don't have an O-line, and they don't have a running back. But they always beat Dallas somehow, and they won their division. Yeah, Eli Bear's probably better than Phil Simms. That's what I was trying to think if he was. Blunt was a nice pickup. He was voted 80th in the player top 100. Yeah, Blunt was a great pickup. But like, I said, it's a one-year deal. Cowboys legend for life. Dallas won't be third. Well, we know they've got 2 losses already to the Giants. We already know they lost twice to the Giants. So if they split with the Redskins and they split with the Eagles, they're at 4 losses already. I say third place. Hey, you know where to find me if I'm wrong. You know where to find me. One day in a year, but they beat you. They beat you twice. I tell Eagle fans all the time. You can't say we should have won this Dallas game, or we should have won the Detroit game, or we should have won this game, but it just didn't fall our way. So, if we would have had that happen, we would have won. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Win or you lose. And they lost. That's what I think. And I say that same thing for Eagle fans who say, oh, well, we should have won this game and this game, and we should have made the playoff. Dallas going 14-2. If you're wrong, you do a video. Because I think you should have at least three to 4 more losses. Cowboys 8-8. Yeah, I think that's what the Cowboys are, 8-8. I'm gonna do an NFC East prediction show, and then I'm gonna start with the Eagles tomorrow, and then I'm gonna do the Eagles video of my prediction for their season with the schedule, a serious one. I did a sarcastic one a couple months ago. I'll do a real one. I'll release it tomorrow, and then on Saturday, I'll do a live stream, and you all can come tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. You just tell me what you think. Cowboys are going to feast on the Giants. I don't know. I think you're living in a bizarre world. Are the Redskin fans in this chat? The Redskin fans have disappeared off the face of the earth. There's not many Redskin fans. The Redskin fans used to talk, man. They used to talk a lot. They used to be boisterous. They used to talk all sorts of stuff. But look, man, they've been beat up over the years. Look at the owner, what he did. I feel bad for the Redskin fans. I do. I don't think there are any Redskin fans. But believe me, if the Redskins start 2-0, 3-0, that's all you'll hear about. They can hold their own with the Cowboy fans for delusions. They can hold their own. Believe me. What games are must-wins? Which games are must-wins? GOAT. I think right off the bat, the Eagles need to win that first game in Washington. Because I don't think if the Eagles, let's say the Eagles lose to Washington, then they got to go to Kansas City, which I have as a loss. You're 0-2 playing the Giants. Yes, at a home opener, but those division games can go either way. It doesn't matter. And if the Giants smell blood in the water that they could put the Eagles in a hole of 0-3, I think it's a very dangerous spot for the Eagles. So I think that first game is a must-win. Okay, so let's say they beat Washington, they lose to Kansas City, they come home and they beat the Giants, and then they lose to the Chargers, because I have them losing to the Chargers. Okay, so let's say they're 2-2. There's a stretch coming up there where I think they're going to have the Redskins, the Niners, and the Broncos at home. They have to win all 3 of those games. They win all 3 of those games and split those first 4 games, I think they can make the playoffs, I do. But that Redskin game for a first game season, I think it's important. I think it's a very, very important spot, definitely. Giants' best run defense in football. Dallas runs the ball. Yeah, the Giants match up well with Dallas. That's why they beat them, because their line is good enough to keep Elliott under bay, and they got good defensive ends. That's what the Eagles need. The Eagles need that kind of defensive line. A lot of new players need time to integrate. Yeah, Sean, a lot of new players need time to integrate. And when you start off, with so many new players, you're going to struggle. I expect the Eagles to start slow. I expect them to start slow and then find their legs, and then I expect them to be one of the hottest teams the last 8 games of the year. And then that's how I think it's going to go. Jim being Lela, you're an idiot. I don't know what he's talking to me. Just think, Falcons who thought they would be, 'Poor Falcons, man. That was incredible. Dallas has talent, but no real coaching. Maybe. I mean, that coach, the owner loves that coach because I thought he was going to get fired years ago. You know? Now, the Giants open with Dallas, right? Oh, why do they always open? Every year it's Dallas and the Giants open up together. It's kind of crazy, really. If you think about it, it's crazy. Best coach in the NFC East. I don't know. I don't like any of the I don't like any of the coaches in the NFC East. I'd say the Dallas coach. You got to give it to the Dallas coach. I mean, look what he did last year. How can you not give it to Dallas? It ain't Doug Peterson, I can tell you that. It ain't Doug Peterson. And I'm not a fan of Gruden either. I think Gruden's going to be gone at this year. I think the Redskins are going to fire the coach. I think they're going to lose a quarterback, they're going to fire the coach, and they're going to start all over. That's what I think. Yeah, he is a puppet, but look, when you win a division and you're the first seed, he won Coach of the Year, so you just, on those merits, you got to give it to him. I mean, I can't give it to Gruden, and then the Eagles coach and Giants coach are both only second-year coaches. Jerry Jones, the best coach in NFC. Yeah, he is. Dallas only won 4 games the year before, same coach. Yeah, I know. Things change quickly in the NFL. It's a year-to-year league. Anything can happen. It's a year-to-year league. So that's the whole reason why I'm like with Doug Peterson, willing to give him this year. Because I don't think he's good, but I'm like, look, he deserves another year because anything can happen. You just said it. Giants will never win another playoff game until they do something about their offensive line. Maybe, but they're going to beat Dallas twice. That's the thing that you got to be worried about. They're going to beat Dallas twice. I think that the Giants are a lot more complete than you're giving them credit. Here's what I think Dallas fans are scared of the Giants. I think you guys are scared that the Giants are going to whip you up twice again. So you try to be dismissive about the Giants and about how they have no offensive line, they have no this and nothing, but they beat your ass twice, even by 1 point, even if it's a quarter point. The Giants own Dallas. It's just been that way for years, too. Would the Eagles be a top 10 next? Top 10 what? Offensive line? Or what do you mean? Scared of your... Yeah, we'll see. Defense wins games. Giants have the best defense in the NFC, and it's not even close. Yeah, I think the Giants have the best defensive line. I love their defensive ends. I really like their defensive ends, and I wanted Landon Collins a few years ago. I wanted him so bad. I wanted the Eagles to draft him. I was so mad when they didn't. All good, Gregory. It just comes so quick. They just scroll so quick. I can't keep up with it. So sometimes I only catch the end of things, or if you guys are having conversations, are you drinking hard liquor? Sip slowly. I'm not drinking hard liquor. I'm drinking lemonade. I like lemonade. It's summertime, I mean, I'll drink a few. I don't drink hard liquor. I'll drink some beers, I like a couple beers here and there, but that's about it. I'm not big into anything else. Relax over there. You fair where the Giants are sweeping. Giants are going to sweep Dallas, and the Eagles are going to sweep the Giants. That's what I think. And Dallas and the Eagles will split, and the Eagles and the Redskins will split, and Dallas will split with the Redskins. Despite, no matter what, it seems like the Redskins and Dallas always can beat each other any given week. The NFC East is like that, Besides corner, until Sidney Jones returns, I see no holes. You wait, Holly, you see no holes in our team? Really? Until Sidney, except for that? Oh boy, I see a lot of holes. I see holes, and I see a lot of question marks. We have a lot of question marks on this team. I know everything looks good on paper, but you don't win on paper. I've seen this too many times with you. I've seen it too many times where you think, we got this, we look good here, we look good here. It don't work that way, We all are overrating our... And I'm not mad at you for it, Holly, because I do the same thing. That's what fans do. Every Dallas fan does it too. Dallas already thinks they won 2018 draft, the 2019 draft. They already think they did the best, better than anybody. They used to try to say Roy Williams, the safety, was as good as better than Brian Dawkins. This is what they used to argue with me, that Brian Dawkins and Roy Williams were actually Roy Williams, the safety, was better than Brian Dawkins. They would think it. They would promote it. They would talk about it on TV because they always think their guys are the best. And if you wear a Dallas Satanic helmet, people go into trance, TV goes into trance, and then they think you're better than what you are. But Dawkins was a Hall of Famer. Roy Williams stinks. And that's the way it was. But, you know, what it is what it is. Giants will not win more than 8 games. Are you going to be doing a prediction, like an NFC East prediction, Cowboys legend? Because I do want to watch it. Because I like hearing everybody's opinion, you know. I'm definitely going to be doing one. I don't think Giants are going 8-8. And I don't like the Giants. I hate the Giants. Cowboys going 7-9. I think Dallas, I think Dallas is like around 8-8. I think the Eagles are around, I'll wait on the Eagles, but I'll do a whole thing, you know. I'll definitely do a whole thing. Cool, Cowboys for legend. All right, so listen, I'm going to take 3 more questions. We've been on here a long time again. I didn't know it was going to be so long. And then tomorrow I'll be releasing my prediction show. And then on Saturday I'll be live streaming again. Thanks, Brady. Thank you. So give me 3 more questions. Anybody have any questions for Philly 500? What's crazy? Giants, Eagles, Cowboys. In the NFC East, who do you think has the best chance of winning the Super Bowl? I think the Giants have the best chance of winning Super Bowl this year. I think in 2 years to 3 years, it's between the Eagles and the Cowboys. So I think if I'm being honest, and I don't like saying it, but if I'm being honest, I think the Giants have, you know, the best chance this year. But I think that you know, I mean, it can go either way. We'll have to see. Which team will beat Green Bay in the playoffs finally? Which team will beat the... Oh, I want to say Eagles. You just see, I just wanted to say the Eagles. What team will beat Green Bay in the playoffs? The Giants could beat Green Bay in the playoffs. I hate to say it, but seem like they go to Green Bay all the time and beat them, doesn't it? Hitler are good. Blunt is fun. Yeah, hey Holly, I love you, man. I love what you're saying. I love that you love the team. I'm with you, man. I'm not against you. I don't totally agree, but I respect your opinion, and I hope you're right because I'd rather you be right than me. You know. Yeah, Cowboys. Cowboys. What was that movie? I don't remember the name of it. Blunt won't get as many touches here. No, I don't think he has to get as many touches. But I think Blunt still could go like 1,100 yards. I still think he could be 1,100 yards, 9-10 touchdowns. You know. No, remember a few years ago when Giants made their 2 runs, right? Giants made their 2 runs to the Super Bowl. Didn't they beat Green Bay in Green Bay both times, if I remember correctly? I love how Cowboy Legend says, we almost did. You almost, but you didn't. You almost, but you didn't. You almost beat the Giants twice, but you didn't. And it's always that but part that gets you, you know? The Eagles almost won Super Bowl, but we didn't. How about Giants 12-4? G-men. Giants and Cowboy fans. We are going to sweep. We will sweep the Giants. Definitely, though. 925 Sturgis still scares you? Me too. Sturgis still scares me. I don't like him, you know. But listen, it was fun. I hope everybody had a good time. I'm going to get going. If I missed your questions, I'm sorry. I apologize. And we'll be doing this again on Saturday. So come back. We'll ask more questions. We'll talk more stuff. I want to hear your opinions on what you think about my season predictions. Thank you, everybody, for joining my show. I'm going to go see the wife and the kids. Talk to you later. Take care. And don't be a dingbat.